Hello, everybody, and welcome to the POAP Community Call number 19. Today is May the 18th, 2022. I'm actually in a place where it's 7 p.m. for once. Normally, it's 6 p.m. where I normally am, but 7 p.m. for me this week. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show, Superphiz. Say hello.
Hey, glad to be here. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. JENetics, welcome back on the show. Great to see you.
Thank you, GM, if that happens to be the time that you are. It's not for me, but that's what we say here.
It's not
What if you
necessarily
said? What if you said GMGN and then it could be like a catch-all?
True.
GM.
GMGN. Good morning, good night, all in one like bundle.
swoop. Yeah, exactly. Logic Beach, hello. Welcome back.
Hello, all. It is Wednesday, my dudes.
And is +1 Britain.eth, hello.
Hello, everyone.
And Frankie, you came up here as well. Say hello. Might as well.
Hi. How's everyone doing? Hey, Britton. How's it going?
Hey, Frankie. Long time no talk.
But all right, so we got a pretty good show for y'all this week. So, of course, we love to start off the show talking about how our POAP works. So, Logic Beach, you want to go ahead and jump in and tell us how everything works?
Will do. I just activated the DGen bot, and to earn your POEP for this call, you need to be on the call and listening, not deafened, so don't click the little deafened headphones near your name on the bottom left. Thank you, JENetics. I think, I don't know, it's not loading for me, but I imagine that's the picture that shows the big X through the deafened symbol. So yeah, you need to be listening to the call for at least 10 minutes during this, and at 7 p.m. Eastern time, I guess that might be 0 o'clock UTC, sorry, words. I will stop the DGen bot, and then everyone can go and claim their POEP for being on the call.
All right, great. And also, if you want to talk to us during the call today, make sure to go to the Community Calls chat channel here in the official POEP Discord. But all right, everybody. So, let's go ahead and start off with the first topic that I have on the agenda this week. So, I am actually seeing family very far away from where I normally live. They are my mom's side of the family, coming out up here and seeing them. And I have a POEP hoodie that I got at DevConnect that I wear all the time, and it's appropriate weather for me to wear it. So the people in my family up here, they are a wide range of individuals when it comes to their ages, whether they be a literal baby or all the way up in their 80s. You really have a lot of range up here for me. And all of them have asked me, what is this thing on your hoodie? What does this POAP stand for? And what is this bookmarks of your life thing? And so I've been explaining it to them, and I feel like every single time I explain it, it just comes out a little bit differently. And I've really been thinking, okay, how do I really explain to a normal everyday person, not necessarily tech savvy, just a general everyday person, how do you explain POAP to them? And I'm kind of interested in your guys' ideas to basically get more people knowing about POAP and actually getting them interested and maybe continuing and looking more into it. I can start off with how I was explaining it to them, and maybe we can give some critiques if that's what we would like to do.
But we get to tell you how you're wrong.
Ooh, yeah. We need if we were on video, we could do the whiteboard and do like a score out of 10, like 9.4.
Exactly. No, it's like the slam dunk contest. Whenever all the judges are sitting there and they pull up the 10s and everything, the little scorecards.
You pitch it and we'll score you.
All right, so here's basically been my pitch. Now, of course, it kind of depends on age. So I'm going to go with the basically 40, 50-year-old person who's not necessarily in the tech, but uses a cell phone and stuff like that. So, you know that cryptocurrency stuff and the technology around it, like Bitcoin and Ethereum and things like that. Well, using that technology, you're able to get these non-fungible tokens, basically these things that you can't change, And these ones help prove that you attended something, or that you did something, or that you were able to accomplish something, and they're really cool. And then this is when I go on to show them my Poep app and all the Poeps that I have, and I start explaining individual Poeps and how I achieve them, and they're like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then they just kind of turn around and like, anyway, they're like, all right, we allowed Mojo that have his nerd moment. Now it's back to what we want to really talk about. That's what it kind of seems like. Maybe I need to work on it. Any tips, tricks, improvements that I need to hear?
I've also explained them like stickers. Like after you go to a doctor's appointment, you get a sticker. And sometimes meetings can be like a doctor's appointment. You don't want to go, but you have to. And so you get a sticker afterwards, and POAPs are like that.
I don't really have a critique. When you mentioned that you wanted to explain this to, like, I don't know, boomer, for lack of a better word, you mentioned these NFT things that you can't change. And in my mind, I was like, but what if I want to change them? And I think the way that we've settled on describing Poep to people is to sort of ignore, well, we don't really explain that it's on a blockchain. But now that I think about that, I think a good way to describe it would be like, cryptocurrency is one application that runs on a blockchain. NFTs are another application that runs on a blockchain. And these POAPs are a specific application, NFT application that runs on the blockchain. That just hit me just now, but I might try to adapt that.
So I don't really even discuss cryptocurrency. Like, of course, everyone who knows me knows that I'm obsessed with Ethereum. But my really brief description is they are electronic stickers with limited distribution. And then from that point, like I think people can get that electronic stickers with limited distribution. Then I help them set up a wallet, help them get their first POAP. And maybe even like I'm helping them through 2 or 3 until they're like, wow, I can collect these. And at that point, I feel like if they were going to get interested, it has happened.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I've wanted to work on, because one of the things that I really want to get good at is explaining the things that I do a lot or every single day, or things that I'm involved with. Because there's a lot of times where it's, hey, can you explain what you do again? And it's like, okay, well, how am I going to explain it differently for the 20th time to you? And so it makes me feel like maybe I don't communicate well enough and I should try a little better or try something different. And talking about POAP is something that I definitely want to get good at. It's part of the reason why I'm even wearing my POAP hoodie at all. It's a good conversation starter. Basically, everybody has asked me, what is this POAP thing, or what is this POAP thing that you've been wearing these last few days? Like, what is this? Tell me what it is. And so I just feel like maybe if I get in more situations like that, I need to be more prepared.
Yeah. So when you're doing this, are you able to get them a POAP? Because mint codes are pretty rare, but the first step in onboarding is getting a POAP.
I think that's actually something good. I definitely have those IYK cards. I should get a POAP loaded up on that I can use in general and really carry that around with me. That's actually a great tip.
What about I've met Mr. Mojo.
Yeah, well, that was for Dev Connect. I can use Polapothon to get a good design for a POAP. Isn't that right,
every
Jen?
time you support someone.
That you could. Polapothon.
Yeah, what is Polapothon, by the way, for people that don't know? What's Polapothon?
So Poapathon was originally started up by our beloved Tap, who is no longer with us. Not that he died, he's just not with us anymore. And what it is a service that connects people who don't have artistic abilities or time with artists. And so you go to Poapathon's website. I believe it's poapathon.com. Stand by while
right.
Yep,
no,
Poapathon, poapathon.com. I'll drop the link in the chatter, and you can request a design for a fee, and our designers on the Poapathon Discord server get to design that POAP or NFT. We also have Balancer is using us to do some video tutorials for them. We've even had people do wedding announcements, all kinds of things with through our design services that have really greatly expanded recently. And then you, the requester, get to pick the winning design, and then we pay our artists. And it's trying to be as streamlined as possible so that it removes as many hurdles, and it also is using artists that are familiar with the Discord and Web3 environment. So you're not having to go to Fiverr and try to explain, okay, I need some art for a POAP, and then the person goes, what? Which is great, because then they're Logic Beach, perfect
Oh my
illustration.
goodness. See, this is great.
Yep. So, although onboarding Fiverr artists is awesome, we also like helping artists that are in the community. And in fact, if you have heard of Daniel Sheldon, who now is working with Pizza DAO, they got their start in Poapathon.
I use Poepathon, I want to say roughly every week, and it is, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said streamlined. Like, I am not an artist, but I love to create Poeps. And so literally and I know a lot of artists. I've connected with a lot of artists, but I don't want to like bug them and say, hey, can you do this for me? Instead, I go to Poepathon, I pay usually $100 bounty, and just tell them what I want. And then I go and I just watch the designs roll in. And a lot of times they don't like this, but I pick a design before my 24 hours is even up. I'm like, that's the one I want. I'm done. And then they're like, no, Fizz, we didn't have enough time. We had other designs. But the level of talent that comes in for that just always exceeds my expectations. And then I'm rocking with a Poep. And I didn't have to beg an artist. I didn't have to find someone to work for me. Like, they want to do it, and it's really a fair rate. It's a really great exchange.
Absolutely. And you can see, if you go to our Poapathon website, it's as easy as when you first land on the page, request a design, you push the button, and it's just one question after another. And it literally leads you step by step through the process. The very last step is you must come onto our Discord server to confirm details. And the reason why is that sometimes the artists have clarifying questions that they may need to ask you, and it's very helpful if you're there to answer those questions. And also, we need to confirm that you're a real person. For example, we had someone stop in and say, hey, we're a company that gives tours of SpaceX. And we were like, lol, this can't be real. They were. And we almost didn't issue the bounty for this very real company that was requesting a Poep from us. So please come onto our Discord after you submit a design request.
They'll set up a room for your design request, and I
Yes.
love to go into that room and just sort of give my gentle guidance. Like, yeah,
Yes.
I need more flames there, or that text isn't quite big enough, or can you change these colors? And well, it's not a guarantee. You're not really paying for that level. If someone is interested in winning the bounty, a lot of times they will quickly make those changes. And it's I'm not, I don't think it's really fair to be overly demanding, but letting artists know what you're trying to accomplish is a great way to get the design you need.
Absolutely. I mean, that goes with any design service. The faster you respond, the better your design is going to be. And the better feedback you provide, the better your design is going to be, which is why we set it up that way and why we love Discord communities.
Yeah, and can I restate one more time how it's an excellent opportunity for people who are artists to be able to practice their art skills while being able to compete anyway to make money. Um, it's it's a really great way for you to build up a reputation in the space as well, because whenever people know that you're a great artist, there's a good chance they'll just go straight to you to want to have your services directly instead of going through Poapathon. So it's a great way for you to get a good base with your art if that's what you're looking for. A great place to practice and make some money on the side. I've been telling everybody I know who is artistically inclined to try it out, and I don't know how many have, but I can only lead them to the
Absolutely.
water. Hopefully they'll
Absolutely.
drink.
Yeah, I know at Bankless DAO, our artists often, like during our weekly design calls, even today, I was like, okay, so today on Poepathon server, we have bounties for, and I literally walked our designers through the bounties over on Poepathon server. So as Bankless DAO is using them too for our designers to earn a little extra money on the side. It's an awesome service, and I greatly enjoy being a part of the team.
Yeah, what do you do at Polapothon, Jen? I know that since Tap left, I believe you stepped up a little bit, right?
Yeah, so I had been stepping up and doing more just regularly because I have thoroughly enjoyed being a part of Poepathon. One of my greatest passions is to help artists get recognized and help under recognized artists get more recognition. And so that was one of the greatest things about Poepathon. And Tap enjoyed that I have great energy on the mic and on camera, and I don't mind being a goofball either. So he started requesting that I come on the live show that is filmed on Tuesdays. And so every Tuesday afternoon ish, depending on where you are in the world, we film a live show and we host artists and projects and communities from around Web3 live on Poepathon's YouTube channel. And we interview them and we have a good time. There's usually a lot of laughing. My favorite section is the riff. It's usually built out by me, in which we try to make memes about sometimes the really chaotic things happening in the Web3 space. And we also try to make it as easy to understand as possible. This week we talked about not only the crash of Luna, that's no moon, but also some of the solutions that are being proposed over in the community to make that community whole again.
I laughed out loud at your reference.
Yeah. So it's, especially right now in this really bearish market, it's hard to keep smiling and genuinely keep smiling, not just toxic positivity, but you have to be able to find reasons to keep smiling. So that's one of the reasons I'm here.
Well, Poep keeps me smiling. I know that's for sure. I feel like even if a lot of this comes crashing down, Poep is still going to be one of those things that it's going to be there because there's really no like monetary value placed on it for the greater public. It's something that we're able to use to commemorate things that we've done in the past. It's not like an Ether or a Bitcoin or any kind of other coin where you buy it and you hope it go up. This is something where we collect and we commemorate. And so it's going to last a lot longer. It's tougher when it comes to the market swinging around, and it's just so many reasons why I like Poep, man. God, I'm such a
Absolutely.
nerd when it comes to this stuff. But okay. So Jen, you wanted to talk about a little bit of what's going on in Poep this week, especially with some more Vogue. So I'm going to go ahead and let you take the floor one more time. Tell me, what excites you
Absolutely.
in Poep in Vogue this week? They had a really long article about a whole bunch of stuff.
They did. So, last week they only gave Poap a mention as being part of that event. But this week they gave Poap like a feature article, which is really, really cool. In fact, they gave Poap like center stage. They called Poap. I'm looking, hold on guys. Sorry. I lost my tab. They gave Poap the title of Web3 status symbol. And in fact, the article went on to say that even in like the mediocre of Decentraland fashion shows, like if you can imagine the Vogue writer of this article, please, the mediocre Decentraland fashion shows had a line for Poeps. And the writer antiquated it to being the same as people like hunting for the freebie bags at fashion shows that you would get. So in case you're not familiar with the fashion world, when you get one of these extremely exclusive tickets to go to one of the fashion shows that are usually filmed at like New York Fashion Week or the LA Fashion Week, they're very limited. And in fact, they have security guards and bouncers making sure that people don't sneak into them. Brands will stuff these goodie bags under your seats with all kinds of really expensive things because, you know, it's an exclusive crowd that gets to sit in these things. And so they compared POAPs to these goodie bags. If that's not a status symbol right there, I think it's amazing. And so they compared the fact that POAPs are being hunted after, gone after, quested after, much in the same way that these goodie bags are as Web3 status symbol. And I thought that that was really, really amazing. And in fact, our own Warthaler was quoted in the article. And I mean, if you guys have seen pictures of him in real life, he is a fashion status symbol.
I
I've
thought you
seen
were
him
gonna
in
say he
real
is
life.
super hot, and I'm like, he's a pretty hot dude.
Well, I mean,
Yep,
yeah.
he's definitely rocking the red blazer all the time. It's like the reddish pink. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, one of the, you know, he has branded himself very well. So he stands out very, very well. And that way he is, when you meet him, I didn't get to meet him. He was at ETH Denver. I didn't get to meet him. I was so sad. I didn't get any of the little Poep embroidered patches. I was super, super sad. But if you meet him, you know it's him because of that red blazer, right? And so he was interviewed and is now in Vogue. In fact, he's in Vogue. Oh, see what I did there? I wish they could have gotten a picture of him for Vogue magazine because he would have been perfect for the magazine too. And I'm not even kidding. I'm not joking. Please don't feel like I'm pulling anyone's leg. 100%. This is an amazing way. Vogue magazine was one of those magazines that I read a lot before, when I was like in high school, when I was in college, because if you wanted to know what was going on in the fashion industry, that's what you read. So it's very cool.
Yeah, it is pretty neat. There's quite a few quotes that are actually from that article that are in the newsletter already, where they talk about basically. I'm just going to say some of these quotes because I actually kind of like them because it's like, yeah, it's basically is what it is. Carlos Fox, or excuse me, Carlo Fox, who is the co-founder of Web3 Entertainment Studio, WAGMI Beach, and partner in investment firm Wave 7.
Yes.
Man, that is a long title anyway. He says, there is a culture of wanting to share these experiences in Flex that I was there. And I feel like that's the Gen Z way, you know, like the kids these days way to say, yeah, I collect pull-ups because it allows me to flex on you. And I mean, it's kind of true. I think it's Unvetica and Superphiz. Both of you are in a pull-up competition, basically trying to flex on each other with your gallery size, right?
I mean, I didn't know it was a competition. Like, he just told me one day that like he was racing me, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't know we were racing," so I had to kind of up my game. But it's good. Like, it's a neat way to kind of gamify the protocol.
Yeah. And it goes a lot further too when it comes to how POAP can help brands as well. I believe in this when it talks about how they acknowledge that POAP is a good short and long-term way to help generate more users. And I believe when it comes to Warner Music Group, they were doing their earnings report, and whoever was running their earnings report had stated that they have been enjoying using POAPs to help their artists out with their shows, and it's helping them improve their numbers. So I think that's great. How POAP is really going out and helping, and how these companies, they really want to actually talk about it. It's starting to really settle itself into the mainstream, kind of figuring out, okay, what are we going to use POAP for right now in the real world? And it's kind of settling in fashion, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, like last week or the week before when we talked about the the women NFT project that partnered with Pepsi, and how like if you couldn't get the actual NFT, you got this little bitty token of where it was like I didn't get the NFT, but I got to see them in person. It's the same thing. Like I can't afford some of these fashion brands, but I did get to see the fashion show. And just like I was calling Poeps baby NFTs, it's like this bitty NFT. It's like the mini purse to the giant purse. Um, it's just they are perfect partners to everything that's happening right now in Web3. And it's onboarding a ton of people into the crypto merchant or web area. And I think it's just getting people like, ooh, I get to collect these.
Do you know what I can't wait is, I know it'll be a while, and maybe some people think it's already there, but I don't. The moment that people can seamlessly use POAP without knowing that they are engaging with Ethereum, that they're not setting up a wallet address, that it just seems like native to your phone. You know, like a lot of apps you just kind of do, and you don't really think about what's behind them. Right now you kind of have to link your POAPs to a wallet address, and that's a hurdle for a lot of people. But I think the moment we get beyond that and it's seamless, then a lot of those people that Jen is talking about are just gonna just dive in.
Absolutely. I know, like, the first time my husband had to mint a POAP, he was like, how? And then now he just started working for a company, and I made him POAPs as it's like, congratulations on your first week at work. And so we made them for everyone for their first week at work for everyone who onboarded with him. And so he gets to give out POAPs to all his new coworkers and introduce them to POAPs. And I'm like, we're going to start this whole like revolution with his new company for POAPs. And soon this whole company is going to be like hungry for POAPs.
That's a great idea. Having a POAP for completing the training at a business, especially if POAP is used for more things in the future, that could be something that could be done. It's like Get POAP, but for businesses, like not well. Okay, what kind of business does he have, Jen?
So the company that my husband is now working for is a competitor to Shopify, but because they're a startup, they are interested in internet money, quote unquote.
Internet money.
Is that
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin? I'm not sure what.
I'm not
That's a joke.
sure.
All right,
Yeah.
that's great. Okay, so is there anything else that we want to talk about when it comes to Vogue? All right, so
Yeah.
I'm actually
Let's
gonna
keep going.
I'm actually gonna take a look at the Slido because Britton, I think that there was actually a question that you had answered in the chat that you may be able to go ahead and answer out loud because it's one of the Slido questions. So earlier somebody had asked, actually I may need to scroll up and see it again. I know that you answered them. Give me 1 second. Was it? Yes, transferring POAPs. So somebody, they are anonymous, they had asked, is it okay to transfer POAPs from 2 Discord accounts to 1 wallet? For example, when a person uses a family member account to attend a session instead of using their own. So maybe, for example, they are on their brother's account whenever they're using their thing. Though I guess you could say in this case, you do get the mint link. You can just mint it to your own wallet. But say you minted it to a different wallet by mistake. Say maybe, for example, you scan an IYK device on your phone, but it's linked, like your POAP app on your phone is linked to a different address. And like, oh no, that went to my burner address or whatever. I want to put that on my main address. Is it okay to move it to a different address, Britton? And how do you do that? Oh man, I said a lot of stuff for that. Sorry, y'all.
I understood what you were saying.
So the question is it okay to transfer a POAP to another wallet?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely okay. I'm pretty sure that's okay.
And how would one
I
do
don't.
that?
It's that XYZ.
So yeah, you just go to unftwallet.xyz and just sort of go from there. I've never done it, so I don't exactly know. I just knew that that was the source.
Oh, okay, I understand. All right.
Yeah, and there's some ethos behind this too, and it is as POAP is founded. Like the principles of POAP are that you should be able to do whatever you can with a POAP that you can do with the protocol. So, um, you know, there used to be these times where we would frown on people who would, I would maybe frown on people for doing certain things, but Patricio's vision is if it's possible within the protocol, then POAP is a protocol operator. So they're not going to prevent you from doing anything that's possible with a protocol. That's one of the reasons that soulbound tokens are so exciting, because they represent POAPs that couldn't be moved.
Yes, okay, so I actually just posted some help on how to transfer a POAP to another address, so if anybody is interested in that, you can do that, and I would like to shout out Sam for assisting me doing that. But okay, so yes, it is definitely okay to transfer POAPs to another wallet, so don't fret, don't worry about it. But okay, so speaking of the soulbound NFT Superphiz, last week we had spoke about a little bit on the DSoc paper that had come out talking about things like soulbound NFTs, and you wanted to continue the conversation. So now's the time for you to go ahead and talk about what you wanted to focus on this week from that paper.
Yeah. So first, I'm really glad that like this is a forum where we can continue the conversation, because I'm the kind of guy that I follow whatever is shiny, and it's easier for me to forget something that I was interested in. And so having this like, hey, let's talk about it again, it's really great for me. I have to acknowledge I haven't read any more of the paper since I read up to section 4. And Nick Sorokish and I recorded that and posted it to um, my YouTube channel, Superphiz. I usually post on ETHStaker, but we posted it on Superphiz. Um, just honestly stumbling through the first 4 sections. Um, the kind of thought I have tonight is I want the paper to become more accessible to people. If you don't know, the paper is called Decentralized Society: Finding Web3's Soul. It's by Glenn Weil. Um, okay, so the other author, I'm so sorry, I don't remember your name right now. And if I try, I'm going to say it wrong. And it's also another Canadian researcher. I think is Vitalik Buterin or something like that. Anyway, it doesn't matter who wrote the paper. It's just really interesting about the future of Ethereum. And so one of the things that's obvious about it is it's written very in an academic style. And so 2 things come to mind that I'd like to kind of move toward. The first one is I think it's a wise idea to begin writing a Cliff Notes version of that paper. And I imagine that being something that is a 10th the size and at an 8th grade reading level. And I think whether I do that on GitHub or however, if it's crowdsourced or if I do it myself or someone else does it, the idea is just to make the content more accessible. I have a couple graduate degrees, and I admit I'm out of academic experience, but it's kind of a slog to read through, even though the ideas are valuable. So my first idea is I would like to get together um, and develop a CliffsNotes version of it. And the second idea is very directly related to POAP. When I don't know how many people are familiar with EthereumStudyMaster.com. It's a platform that I developed probably a year or 2 ago, and something that Unvetica or Michael has turned into a website. Essentially, you read material and then take a quiz over it and get a POAP for demonstrating understanding. And so I'd like to kind of add this article into that, whether it's directly on Ethereum Study Master or whether it's just like a Google form. I think it's a fun idea to find the people who will read and understand this, and then kind of identify with them with a POAP. And then it might even be neat to have like a token gated community so we can chat about it together. Those are just some ideas. Like, again, I acknowledge I haven't read more, but I'm still obsessed with the idea. Logic Beat, did you have any? I know you were also interested in it like I was.
I remember last week thinking, "Ooh, that's such a good thing to talk about this. I'll save it for next week," and quickly filed that under never remember again. So I do like your idea about sort of compressing that paper down into like a, I don't know, maybe 10-minute read and not a 45-minute read. That is a good idea. I am not going to do that, but somebody should.
I may. So to be honest, I think DSoc has the real potential to be bigger than DeFi. And my current line of thinking this week is Ethereum is not about money. Ethereum is about empowering democracy for everyone in the world. And the sooner we kind of see that tooling and begin to implement it, the more quickly we can move toward Ethereum being just like money and into something that is a powerful tool for everyone in the world. And I know that's kind of like it's not how people usually think of Ethereum, but I do believe it is our future.
I definitely agree with that. And I think I mentioned it earlier, but money is just like it was the first blockchain application, and it's really hard to get past it because everyone's obsessed with money. But you're right. I had to sort of challenge myself and think, what is something I do with blockchain or Ethereum that isn't money? POAP is one of them, but honestly, I sort of drew a blank. Like, art is a big deal, but still, there's a lot of money involved with art on the blockchain these days, and I had to think about that a little more, and maybe ask yourself, what do you do with Ethereum that isn't money related? Everyone, ask yourself that question.
So I don't think it's wrong to be where we are. Do you know, like, I acknowledge that, even for me, like, I'm trying to accumulate. I'm staking. I want to have passive income. Um, our current knowledge is based in Ethereum as money. But in the same way, like, we didn't really see NFTs coming 5 years ago. As a matter of fact, NFTs sort of exploded, but there were people who were saying, "Hey, this is going to happen. This is going to happen," and I was like, I don't know. But I really do feel that way about DSoc.
Yeah, I agree. It's sort of interesting. Like, a few times these like DeFi summer and NFTs, I can only really think of two things. I guess the ICO craze, but I was too early into crypto at the time. And anytime someone tried to explain it to me, like, I don't see why somebody would value that. And then, like, it turns out everyone values that, and a lot. So, DSoc vibes with me better than all those other things that I've heard. Like, at the times that I heard them, like later on, I was like, okay, now I see why it's valuable. I understand. DSoc made sense to me as soon as I read about it or had the idea imparted to me. So I wonder where it's going to go, and I wonder how I can help it get there.
I think that's why we need to. So, like, really, if it's just like me and Logic Beach or me and Mr. Mojo, whoever, like that, or even people listening, you can be a part of the future by promoting the concepts of DSoc, by simplifying that paper, by talking about it publicly, by getting other people on board. It, it, I just it takes that like passion to say, yes, I believe this is real and I believe this is going to happen. So let's bring everyone along with us.
Is it decentralized society or decentralized social layer?
I believe it's decentralized society.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I think it's really cool too. It's also, to me as well, whenever I was initially reading about everything and all the concepts that they're trying to describe in DSoc, I was also one of those people who sat there and said, okay, yeah, like, I really get it. This is one of those things that is kind of like it's kind of like something that ties things together. It's taking a whole bunch of things that we have done and trying to really bring them all in and try to kind of melt it down so that it can become this giant melting pot of ideas and things that we have been able to do and come and combined, so that we can have decentralized society. But I also really like the idea of the soulbound NFTs as well, because they are a part of your soul, and you being able to sort of give a part of your soul, like, hey, you met me, or you have done work for me, or you and me started a business together, or whatever. I think that's cool. And also, I feel like something that has kind of bothered me in the past trying to get opportunities is, okay, how do I describe who I am to potential employers or to people who would want to work with me on something, or even just to this whoever in general in front of me? And having things like DSoc could help show, hey, this is who I am. And POAP is there already. It's one of those things where you can show who you are just by going, look at my gallery. And all these things are really coming together, and I'm excited to continue to talk about DSoc.
Thanks for offering the platform. I look forward to kind of just keeping up with this every week. I think there's a lot of potential for Poep to promote the future of DSoc, and so I'm glad we're doing that here.
Same here. But okay. What should we look at now? We're kind of jumping around on our agenda this week. Okay, so the Poep.directory received an update this week. So if you did not know, Poep directory is a great place for you to go to look at a whole bunch of resources when it comes to POAP. And I'm going to go ahead and send you to the all resources page here. So something that makes POAP great is the fact that a whole bunch of third-party providers are able to build on top of it. And according to POAP, there are over 180 third-party applications that are using POAP right now. And I really want to shift this to the importance of third-party integrations on POAP. So the discussion that I want to have is third-party developers and their importance to POAP's growth. So is there anybody who can really take off with this, or should I go ahead and start? All right, looks like I should go ahead and start. So, as I was saying, introducing this topic, the ability to actually use POAP to, to integrate POAP into your project is really important because, as we've spoken about in the past, POAP is supposed to be more of like a tool that you place in your toolbox to make your project great. Your project isn't just about the POAP. The product that you make isn't just about the POAP, it's about using POAP to enhance what you are creating. Whether you use it to have some sort of gate to your content, or you use it to commemorate the event that you held, or you're just finding ways to help distribute these like IYK devices, as JENetics said. It's really, really cool to see how people are trying to find their opportunity within POAP. And this also kind of leads into the conversation that we had before about DSoc and how Ethereum is this place where you can go to find opportunity. POAP is another one of these things that is being built on this blockchain technology that is able to give opportunity. And so I think it's really, really cool that people really want to come in and find what they want to do with this thing. And it's what's really allowed POAP to grow in the way that it has. People want to use it. People want to build with it. And let's not discredit the importance that third-party developers have with POAP.
Absolutely. So this week is permissionless down in Palm Beach, Florida. I didn't get to go. Sad days. However, a lot of my bankless friends and family are down there. And one of the things that they got to do is the POAP treasure hunt. And we got to partner with the IYK people to distribute these POAP. So like right now, actively happening in Palm Beach. So if you're down there or if you're attending the permissionless party, you can go and nab some of these POAPs. And so if I can get back on the thing is on my phone, so I have to navigate over here on my phone to drop the awesome image I made for our scavenger hunt. Boop. So here's like the list of all the different POAPs that a bunch of different artists made, and they're all being distributed with the IYK devices. If you don't know what they are, they're these things. They're about the size of a CD. Do you guys remember those things? You put them in this device and they played music, and you were only limited to what was on the disc back in the day.
Are you talking about an iPod Shuffle?
No, before those.
There was no. They didn't have music before.
You mean a Walkman?
Yeah, on a Walkman. So these IYK discs are about the size of a CD. And what you do is it uses near field technology. And when your phone is unlocked, you hold it up to the IYK disc and it'll prompt you to open a web page. And when you click on it, in this case, it opens a POAP claim field. And so IYK has already used their technology to have it so that it auto-generates a new POAP claim link every time you flash your phone over top of the device. And you enter in your MetaMask data and boom, you've got a POAP. And what's incredible about this is that each one of these different POAPs links to either an artist's page or back to like there's her DAO, H-E-R DAO, her DAO. So that links to their community's Twitter. Some of these link to different businesses. Flora Nouns, cool project there, not financial advice, is up in that first corner. So all of these things are easily distributed in person with the IYK device, which is really, really cool. And that's been really fun to watch get distributed from afar in person and hear people posting in the Telegram page, hey, I saw one of the IYK devices and it was one of the Bankless DAO's POAPs.
Yes, in fact, I believe when I start the spotlight, I believe the one I'm going to throw down, I should actually let you talk about it. Should we actually start the spotlight since we're only about, we're less than 15 minutes until the end of the call, so I'm the one who's going to be taking care of that today, but Jen, I'm going to let you describe this first one because it is actually from Permissionless. It's the one that you had showed us earlier. So it is the Swap Monster. Do you want to go ahead and describe this one to us, please?
Yeah. So you dropped the link and I dropped a close-up of it. So Swap Monster, which on it says swap thing. So not swamp with an MP, but swap thing. And you can see it's got some Uniswap on it and the IYK symbol up at the top of it on that anchor. And it's designed by Cosmic Clancy. And you guys have actually featured Cosmic Clancy as one of the POAP featured artists before. So it's pretty cool. It animates. So if you open it up, I believe if you click on the link, you'll be able to watch it animate. Yes. So this is animated and it's one of those that you get to claim if you are down there. And I think that's one of the ones tonight that if you're out in Palm Beach, you can go find it in person. So got to claim it in person though.
Yes, in person. But all right, thanks Jen for talking about that one. So the next one that I want to talk about is, of course, over the last week, all everybody has been talking about in the DeFi scene is how UST has depegged. So we are taking a look at the Terra loses its peg POAP. Very unfortunate situation, everyone. I think we all know what's happened. Everything's gone down. Oh man, just such a terrible thing. Yeah, exactly. That's no moon. How is it going to be called Luna and then it just doesn't moon? It went straight to Earth's core instead. It's really but a lot of people had seen it coming. But something that we were doing while this was all happening in the Rocket Pool trading channel, we were waiting for RPL rewards to actually come out as we were watching the Luna meltdown. So as everybody was waiting for the Rocket Pool mini pool staking rewards to be given out, we were watching ETH and our ETH plummet to the ground, but it's okay. Everything is going to be alright in the end, cross his fingers, and hopefully Everything will recover soon. But there is one more that I want to show. And Superphiz, I'm going to actually let you talk about this one a little bit. It is actually the ETH staker in CLR Fund, the Quadratic funding round. So, sir, can you please talk about this a little bit?
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about this. Oh, it's the launch call. Okay. So, the Ethereum Foundation reached out to us along with ETHStaker, which is the group that Mr. Mojo and I are a part of. They reached out to ETHStaker and said, "Hey, we'd like to do a quadratic funds matching round. We'd like to put up $350,000. And do you want to participate with us and promote staking tools?" And whenever someone offers you $350,000 to share, it's like you feel like saying yes. You know what I mean? So yeah, we got together with them, and on what day is this? Probably
Like,
we probably launched it a week ago, something
yeah,
like
it's
that.
been a little over a week now. It's been like a week and a half,
So
maybe.
we launched the quadratic funds matching round. You can go to it now at qf.ethstaker.cc. It is still open for contributions for about 7 more days. And to participate, you'll need to have DAI on the Arbitrum network, and you can sort of support any of these staking projects. And I could probably rant for like 57 hours about why this is important, but I'm going to make it really simple. The value of Ether is based on the health of the network. Ether only has value because we have a powerful network. And the best way that we can improve that value is to invest in our network. And you can do that by supporting these projects at qf.ethstaker.cc.
And yes,
And
I've put
so, yeah.
that link in the chat. So anybody that is interested can go and look at that. You have to verify yourself on Bright ID, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, sir?
Yes, and Bright ID it's a really great program. I'm surprised to hear some people who are like hesitant to do it. They think it means giving up your identity or using your wallet addresses, but to verify with Bright ID, you don't have to give any personal information. All you need to do is have 2 people vouch for you being human by sharing your link and saying, "Yes, I know Mr. Mojo, he is human. Yes, I know Logic Beach, he is human." And you find 2 people to vouch for you, and you're verified. It's an anti-Sybil mechanism to prevent people from trying to look like a lot of people.
And yes, I would also like to restate that it is important to it's important to support the things that you like and enjoy and believe in. So if there's anything that you like or enjoy in that ETHstaker funding round, please contribute to it. They will greatly appreciate anything that you can give them. Without them, we really wouldn't get much on mainnet or anything with staking. If people aren't willing to develop anything, we'll never get anything developed. So I think it is important to go and support people's efforts to try to make things cooler and better. But thank you, Superphiz, for talking about that with us. So let me take a look at the agenda. I believe that was everything that we were going to talk about today, which is great. We have about 5 minutes left. Is there anything that anybody wants to bring up before we talk about how to get the POAP for today's call? All right, it doesn't seem like it. Unless Logic Beach, you want to say something?
No, sorry. I don't actually have anything to say. It looks like we have 5 minutes and 28 seconds before this call is technically over. Do you want me to go ahead and end the DGen bot now, or what's up?
No,
No.
let's keep going.
Yeah.
I
Just
had
5 minutes.
a DM from someone that asked for specifically the best uses of POAP for businesses or a business. So there are cases like we talked about with my husband where we're giving like hey, you made it through your first week at this business, and those are handed out manually. But what are some uses for POAPs for businesses that you guys can think of? and then maybe some real life examples of those.
I'm thinking about basic achievements like finishing your training, or you've worked there for a certain amount of time, or depending on the job, maybe there's like a task-based job. Maybe you're the person that did the most tasks that week, or maybe you kept consistent on how many tasks you've completed in a week or something. It really depends on what your business is. I used to work at a Walmart online grocery, and maybe somebody who was consistently like a top dispenser for groceries, maybe they would get a POAP as like a thank you, or even you know how like an employee of the month type situation might exist. Maybe for employee of the month you get a POAP instead of no, like, or I shouldn't say instead, but as an addition to your reward. I'm sure that there's ways that you
Hey,
can look. You want to make sure that it makes sense. You just don't want it to be for anything and everything. You want your POAPs to matter and mean something. So don't just use them willy-nilly. You want to think about things that not everybody is going to end up doing, but when somebody does do it, you want to be able to show like, okay, yes, this person was able to achieve this, or they were able to do this or do that.
do employee of the month, end of year raffles for I don't know, whatever, but that's like one way that you could give out a POEP that actually sort of mattered to people. It's not like it was just a little badge that they don't care about, but it actually, helps them go further in their job somehow. I actually used to do construction tile. I used to install and remodel. I used to remodel people's homes. And if I was still doing that, I'd probably be, if I ran into anyone that even interacted with Ethereum, I'd probably want to give them the, Logic Beach remodeled your house POAP. That would be fun.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, thanks for using my business.
I have a thing I'd like to bring up if we have just a minute.
Sure, go ahead.
What kicks? We have like three. So someone was asking about how POEPs were distributed during the QF e-staker call, and we used the magic QR dispenser. Hey Sam, I might actually, because I know you know a lot about the magic QR dispenser. I'm going to pull you up here if you're available. I feel like the magic QR dispenser is a little bit slow for that kind of delivery, but I wonder if there's a better way, because I know we use secret word a lot. Secret word I think is good because you have to have a mobile device with the POAP app installed, which is anti-Sybil, but it also allows a lot of claims at the same time. So, are there thoughts about that?
It gets really tricky when you really start to think about how to distribute on something like a YouTube video or a YouTube live stream.
I hate secret word.
Yeah.
And I have to
So
use
that's
it
right.
every week.
Why do you hate secret word?
So here I posted a video for the Hodler Con POAP, that we had on Poapathon, and we had a whole 56 people that managed to make it through that call because YouTube kept rugging us. For whatever reason, it kept rugging us, and we had 500 mint links. 50 people on the call, 500 mint links. They were gone before I managed to type in Hodler pineapple, because I evidently can't spell pineapple.
Okay, so secret word is not Sybil resistant. That's basically where we're going?
Correct.
Okay. Then maybe QR is the best way. I feel bad that it feels like a slower method of distribution. But if it's if it's the best Sybil resistant method right now, is there anything better?
I mean, when I've explained like the QR code reader virtually, is you might have several people or a lot of people scanning that QR code at the same time, going to the same mint link, all trying to mint at the same time, and then it's like a fight to see who gets to mint it, and then one person got it, and then they all have to scan it, and it's that same battle until eventually everybody manages to either give up or claim their
POAP battle royale.
It is.
And that's what I don't like about it. But I guess maybe that's just kind of where we are right now. And if that's where we are, we know there are better solutions coming to things like YouTube. But I guess until they're here, maybe QR is the best thing we have.
Yeah. And I get asked a lot, like, well, can't I print one QR code and then it generate different mint links every time that QR code is scanned? And as far as I'm seeing on the POAP or the issue Poeps on the POAP directory section, it's not that. The way that it does it is a new POAP. The secret word is, thank you, Elena. Or Magdalena. The way that the QR code works is a new QR code is generated for each individual claim link. So a lot of people are like, oh, well, can't I have here? I'll post a video of what the people at my business wanted to do. And I was like, that ain't gonna work, y'all. They wanted to do, let's see, is this the one that spins? No. Is this the one? Yes. Okay. So they wanted to do this, where it was a this one wouldn't be the one that spins, but they wanted to print a video or a sticker that had a QR code on it, and that you could hand out these stickers with a single QR code, and that somehow the QR code would lead to many different QR or links. And I was
that's not impossible. Like, it is a thing that has been done in the past.
It is.
Yeah.
But unless it's on the poap.directory website, I'm not doing it. It doesn't exist.
No, that's fair. That's fair. You know, that might be a method that is worth kind of introducing to POAP.delivery. I know what I'm remembering is I guess when some folks went to NFT.NY last year, it's e-stakers, but nobody will step up right now. If you guys want to, I wasn't there, but they printed QR codes on their shirts, and whoever saw them was able to claim those. And I wasn't part of it, but I'm aware that it happened.
All right, so it looks like we're getting ready to wrap up. Yes, it's 8:02 p.m. when POAP. So POAP is now.
2 minutes ago, actually.
Yes, 2 minutes ago. If you go here in this official POAP Discord to the POAP claim channel, you're going to type /claim. Logic Beach here in the community calls channel has just showed you what it looks like. Again, that's /. That is the button next to the right shift and has the question mark on it. Then claim, CLAIM. You're going to hit enter, and you should get your POAP from DJinBot, and you will mint it as normal. But thank you, everybody, for coming on the call as normal. Always have a great time being able to come in and talk about POAP every single week and what's on everybody's minds. But once again, thank you. I'll see you next week.
Bye-bye. Hey, I do want to also shout out to Diablo Verde for creating our weekly POAP. We really do appreciate his help.
Yes, every single week. Every week. Love it. Keep going. Bye, everyone.
Otherwise, I'm probably going to have to do it. Or we can start using Polapothon services.